What got you into the podcast and stuff?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, we get to start. We're rolling, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Honestly, bro, the podcast was like, so for a while, I felt like I wanted to be sharing more content and like, especially the stuff I was going through, and I got into a lot into like the power of the mind, and I realized a lot of my fans, like most of my fan mail or messages were like, I'd say the majority of them were kids like, yo, man, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, this happened, like I appreciate this or that, like the tweets and I kind of connected the dots a little bit as I was realizing how much I had changed my mindset and like how much better I was. I was like, this would be a great way of actually serving more content, which I wanted to do, but I didn't want to be a YouTuber and shit, like vlogging and like, it didn't feel
Basic,
right. It never like fit right for me.
It wasn't real.
Well, it just felt like it wasn't organically me.
Okay,
like I'm not going to talk to my phone and like, hey,
Sure.
come see me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like that. So like this became like more and more obvious. And then all of a sudden I was just like, the way I do shit is just like, I let ideas like flow. I feel like everything's flow. So like, even right now, us sitting here, let me tell you, like I picked up, you know how we met? Well, how we electronically met. Mm-hmm. I never buy magazines, ever. I just don't. I don't buy magazines at all. Like for whatever reason, I'm waiting to get on a flight and I see your fucking face. I'm like, who's that guy? For whatever reason. And then I read the story and then I tweeted you and then we got connected that way. We just kind of been back and forth on social media and shit. But I think I tweeted, you got a new fan. Because I was like, it was a really cool story.
That was big, man. That was cool.
It was big.
To get
you
that,
were
like,
17?
17, yeah.
Cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, cover of Sports.
The LeBron, you've been pegged the LeBron of baseball.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I want to get right into it. Before we go any further, this is Hunter Greene. A lot of my fans might not know you. This is like a really rare opportunity to get to know somebody before, a lot. There's just it's very early on in your story. But and honestly, you're the guy I know personally least that I've had on so far. But I just believe for whatever reason, I was like, oh, we need Hunter on, and I really like, I was just thinking in the shower, like it's kind of a wild little sequence of events to be here and talking now. But thank you for doing this, my guy.
Of course, man.
Pound.
I love.
Big boy, 6'5", 6'5", or
6'4" and a half.
6'4" and a half, and fucking
man. When I started rehab, I was like, I got to 250.
Wow.
But now I'm like 228.
Wow.
I'm there, 220, 230.
Oh, so were you just eating good, or what was going on?
Yeah, man, it was
working
my first
out?
time. Like, so, I mean, so we work out in the morning, and then all day after, I mean, we're done at 11, 12 o'clock. All day, we have off for the rest of the day. You know what I mean? So sitting on the couch, I'm a really active person, but I was kind of bored a little bit. Right. Just kind of starting to get used.
Was this, not to cut you off, was this when you were in Vegas?
No, I was in Arizona.
Okay.
So our spring training complex is in Goodyear, which is about 30 minutes north of Phoenix and 45 from like Scottsdale. Cool. But yeah, man, I was just like kind of starting to get used to Arizona a little bit. Right. Didn't really know the places to go.
Right.
Whenever I'm in a new city or state or something, I try to find like places that remind me of home. Yeah. You know what I mean? The Valley, Hollywood, something like that.
So born like down the road from where I am now.
North Hollywood.
Yeah. Crazy. It's I mean, I wouldn't call it, is there a lot of baseball talent coming from this area?
Yeah, man.
In high school, I mean, I know you went to Notre Dame, which is a great school. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you were obviously the head guy when you were coming up in the rank. But is there a lot of crop coming out of California?
Yeah, there is. California is definitely number one for the best baseball in a state.
In high school?
Yeah. It'd be.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it'd be California, probably
Texas?
Florida after that, Texas, and then Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia, you got the corn-fed kids. They're all big.
What East Cobb, right?
East Cobb, yeah.
That's still going on down there.
Yeah.
They're still jamming.
Yep. Adidas, I think, puts that whole thing on, so they, deck all the kids out with gear, and that's always the best part.
Right.
Getting all the free stuff and all the swag.
For sure, I feel you.
Yeah.
So I wanna basically I want you to give us a little bit of a nutshell of your story up till now. It could be brief, and then we'll kind of go from there. Obviously, like I said, I have a lot of baseball fans that cross over to my music fans because obviously my background in baseball. And originally, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know if I would have really got catapulted into music. I guess as seamlessly as it felt, because it felt seamless in a way. I think a huge part of that was the baseball world, because people kind of felt like I was championing, like, for baseball players, like there's never really been a baseball player that rapped or like made music in general, really, commercially, I guess. I mean, some of the Bernie Sanders, a couple of older guys did, I think, Bronson Arroyo, but like not a thing, especially
Bronson,
not rapping.
Guitar?
Yeah.
Bronson, yeah.
So without that world, like kind of pushing it forward, even though the music was very amateur, the baseball world like helped keep it alive and helped it grow organically. A lot of word of mouth and shit. So that it was a big part.
That's why I love baseball too. Is like you can learn so much from the sport.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
So many life lessons.
For sure.
Obviously, my favorite part is the connections, like who I meet. Obviously, traveling is like awesome. You know
Amazing.
What I mean?
You're in the tough phase of traveling, the fucking minors. You know what I mean? When I know I got so many homies that, I mean, some of them still in it.
Yeah.
Going on like 6-7 years since we left college. Still in it, and I talk to them, and they're like, "Sheesh, man, this shit's a fucking grind."
15-hour bus ride.
I mean, you're talking to somebody who's toured both ways, technically, but music's obviously a lot more enjoyable. Yeah. Even if we're going through a small town, we get the best of that town pretty much when we're on the tour bus. Sure. But going through, we're still living that life in a sense. I play shows in fucking Montana. 2 shows in Montana, North Dakota, everywhere, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's been to all those places. Yeah. What would you say that's been one of the harder parts?
Oh, for sure, man. So I was drafted, I think it was like June 12th or something like that. Last minute draft.
I want to talk about this because I knew about this.
Yeah.
You held out the last possible second.
Yeah, I think we had like 20 seconds to go until.
That's incredible.
It was like, you're going
Who's
to
your
school.
Agent?
Ryan Hamill with CAA.
Okay, yeah.
Out here on Avenue of Stars, Century City.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Huge agency.
Yeah.
Big boy stuff.
Yeah.
You got big boy bread. you have the highest signing bonus in history.
Yes, since the
constraints.
Yes. Now since this past year's draft, what's his name? Casey Mize with the Detroit Tigers beat me for $8 million and some. I forgot the rest, but yeah. I mean, he was out. I think he went to Clemson or Auburn. I
haven't heard of the kid yet.
Yeah. First overall pick. But even the second pick overall, which is where I went, he didn't. I signed like, I think a little. No, he signed a little bit more.
The highest fucking thing in the history, but you weren't even the first pick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a crazy,
Interesting,
story.
yeah.
You don't hear into that.
You don't hear about. Yeah, I do want to get into it.
So
walk us through. I mean, I think a lot of this is like information they would never. The average consumer of baseball wouldn't have any idea how it works. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I went second overall. First pick was my homie Royce Lewis out of J. Sarah Catholic, which is in Orange County. He went first overall. He signed.
Pitcher?
No, shortstop. Shortstop and center fielder. I think he's playing mostly center field with the Twins.
Okay.
That's who had the first pick. So he was picked first. He signed for about 6.7 and some change. And then I was picked second for 7.2. So he took a little bit of a cut. I think his
wanted to get it done.
Yeah, his bonus I think was like 7.5 is what he could have gone if he signed for the full slot. But he took a little bit of a cut.
Why?
I don't know all the details. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to him about that stuff.
If you don't, then you don't.
But our thing was
I don't know why, actually.
Yeah, our thing was like my family. We always had a bunch of like talks and stuff with the agency. My family, myself, a lot of thinking. Our thing was I'm not a discount player.
Right.
I'm not going to take a cut. You know what I mean? I know what my worth is. That. You know what I mean? So that was like big for me.
Setting a standard. Right out of the gate.
Exactly. Even for guys that are coming up next in the draft, you know what I mean? To have that confidence.
I have an interesting alignment from my industry. So in a much different sphere and a lot less industrial, conversation. Like with my agent, I don't know why. I felt that way out of the gate, and I never opened for another person on tour ever. If you ever purchased a ticket to see me, I was the name on the ticket, and I felt like the branding of that right out of the gate, knowing like I bought a ticket to see that dude, and maybe I also had my other reasons because I felt like I'm kind of a weird. There's not. you know, it's a weird fit to pair me with another art. It's kind of I'm kind of in no man's land in the sense of the music I make. It's a little bit of little urban, little pop, little you know what I mean? It's just doing what I want to fucking do. You know what I mean? But the whole idea was I kind of adopted that mentality in a similar way. You know, a lot less money on the line. The stakes were lower, but I've just felt like that's kind of the same mind frame. You know what I mean? I wanted them to, if they were walking through the door, it was to see me, and it kind of it subconsciously sets that in their head, like it's a headlining act. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's kind of been that's been the mantra and the vibe. I mean, we toured our fucking ass off. Played I talked to my agent. Almost 750 shows I played. That's wild. It's retarded. Like it's ridiculous how you don't even like. I would have guessed 350, 400. Like that's how much of a blur they blur together.
You feel like it's gone by pretty fast, or?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm having a fucking blast, man. Like it's interesting because I'm coming from a weird vantage point, and I call it a vantage point because it is. I feel, you know, I didn't foresee any of this in my life at all, really, genuinely. Like I probably had a very similar not mindset, but like I'm going to be a baseball player my whole life. You know what I mean? So when this happened, I was 22. You know, when it started. So or 21, but I mean, bro, it's been like, I feel like I'm 10 years old. You know what I mean? Because I've for 21 years, I was just using another side of my brain way more. I was regimented. I was routined. I was a student athlete first. Didn't party much.
Yeah. So accustomed from that Duke. I mean, that's a rigorous school.
Oh yeah. But I was, to be honest, like I really wish I could redo school. You know what I mean? I was a good student, but I would get it done. You get what I mean? Like I wasn't thoroughly fucking enjoying and trying. No one does. That's why I think school is a fucking joke. Really, I'm highly educated, you know, on paper, and I just feel like I've learned so much through experience, so much more through experience. And I think you have to be passionate about what you're learning because you're like, there's dynamics of your brain, like the actual science of the brain. Like if you're not stimulated and actually feeling with your whole heart and so you're wanting to learn this and you're invested, it's ricocheting off. It's not,
in one ear out the other.
It's just not, you know what I mean? There's so many thoughts a day. So you really have to, like, you can't force kids to try to learn this shit because you're actually making it worse. I firmly feel that way. Like if I were to have kids, I would actually urge them to not, you know what I mean? Or I would try to find a place that could really facilitate it. I think it needs to be, hey, let's figure out, hey, here's all the things you have to learn. We're gonna try to prepare you for these next steps of life. You know what I mean? Think about how much has evolved. Every single kid has an iPhone. I mean, I've had this conversation on this podcast, but you have an iPhone, you know everything. I could ask you a question, you have no idea what I'm talking about. You could say, hey Siri, what's this? And she's gonna fucking tell you. So why do you need to know who crossed the bridge in 1775 and fucking start, like, who gives a shit? Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know how we got here, but we got here. But you're a guy who, I mean, you went to a great high school. Did you take how were academics like at the front of your focus too? Or are you like, you know what?
Yeah, so my mom's actually an educator. She's
there you go.
Yeah, so she's like,
your mom probably hated what I just said, but it's fine. It's no disrespect to teachers. It has none. Yeah. It's the fundamentals of like. It's how I feel about, like, we're getting into all types of controversial shit, but it's how I feel about the gun law shit too. Like, bro, the right to bear arms, when they wrote that in the Constitution, they had fucking muskets. It took 15 fucking, like, 30 seconds to take one shot and load it up. You couldn't mass kill people, you know what I mean? Like, my point is, you evolve. Humans are evolving at an incredible rate, you know what I mean? To the point where we're gonna fucking merge with machines at some point. You know, like we're really headed that direction. So my point is nothing against the educators. The educators should be paid triple what they're paid. You have to change. They have to be people like chameleons who can, you know, like a Joe Rogan figure in a sense where like, yo, let's pull up topics. Let's talk. Let's expand our thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I love watching the podcast. And, I mean,
me too, man.
Just listening to it visually, like watching their like body language, I find like interesting, like just about
it is. But you really feel like I watching Joe Rogan, bro. I feel like I know this guy. Yeah, I know for a fact how he's wired because there's so many times I'm in watching his conversations. I'm like, yeah, I fucking agree. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's exactly.
I've gone through that. Yeah,
I've gone through it, or like, holy shit, that's crazy. You know, but he's bringing like. he's using his platform, and that's what I'm trying to do with this. But he's using his platform, right? He's informing a lot of people about shit they had no idea and they would have never known. They would have never been privy to these special guests that he has on with all his specialty knowledge about government or anything, you know? Like, even for me, who's highly educated, you know, I went to Duke, Georgetown. I really can genuinely say it's also a mindset thing. At this time in my life, I'm what I said about wanting to learn. Like, I'm putting it on because I want to fucking listen and learn. You get what I mean? So I'm already, when my foot in the door is already a lot. I'm there. I'm in the room. You know, where you're begging kids to try to get a foot in the door to listen in school. You know what I mean? You have to be an incredible leader actually to be an elite educator because it's fucking challenging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's crazy. So my mom, she's a special. She does like consulting, educational consultant. She travels the country. I'm actually to go with her to China in December for 2 weeks. That's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna learn how to play ping pong even better. I'm gonna play with those kids.
Hell
I play every day.
We have to play, but I saw the flow out there. We shot around a little bit.
Yeah.
We volleyed. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle.
But yeah, so my mom's an educator, and she was like really, really making me focus on that. You know, it's not like she had to force me or anything.
Yeah. It just comes through it. You know, the relationship.
Yeah. So that was like, you asked me what my focus was through high school. And it was both. I mean, I can honestly say my focus was 50-50.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and even, so I was committed to UCLA, and I knew if I didn't get the grades, it's true. Like, they're not going to accept you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know
but like, let's be real. You're also a no doubt first round talent. I wasn't. You know what I mean? But even still, I was like, I'm going to be it. So the fact that you had the discipline internally to be like, yeah, you know, and fuck it, I could go to UCLA if not, you know, like, for me, I would have been like, fuck this shit. Let's take 3. You know what I mean? Like, let's get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's really like, when you get to that point, bro, it's life changing. People don't ever see the money there's 99% of people on the fucking planet will never see the money you saw in one day.
Yep.
You get what I mean? It's fucking nuts.
It's crazy.
And it could change it changes your entire life. But you're clearly like, I mean, I commented on your dad. You're very, very close with the family, I can see. What's your dad do?
He's a private investigator for all the big time celebrities and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents have really dope
jobs. I feel like your
jobs.
fucking mom and your dad, I want to have them on as special guests at some point.
They'd be down.
She probably won't like my thoughts on education, but I would love to hear it actually. But so he's like, I mean, we're not gonna put him in the category, but I fucking love Ray Donovan, like the guy, like he's
the show. Yeah.
He's the guy. He's not a cop.
Obviously, that's a little like fabricated a little bit.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
That's like the dirty version.
Yeah.
But so what is the actual? Can you even talk about it? What is his actual like?
So he was Johnny Cochran's investigator for I think like 8 or 10 years or something like that.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. So he's been doing it, I think for 20.
I need him on the pod. Get him on. Papa Greene, we need
hit
you.
him up.
Yeah.
But he's I mean, he works with Kanye, the Kardashians, Justin Bieber, like everyone.
Wow.
Everyone. They're obviously they haven't gotten in like any criminal trouble, you know what I mean? But like all the BS that they deal with being in Hollywood, all the crazy people, you know.
Stalking the fuck out of him.
Yeah, I don't know if
he probably deals with some crazy shit.
Oh yeah, the Kanye. I don't know if you saw him punch that camera dude like at the LAX airport. He had to like kind of help him get out of that. The dude wanted like 6 figures. He's something crazy, you know what I mean?
So he's the middleman to those types of situations.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That gets that money down. You know what I mean?
He's a cool fucking dude, huh?
He's great. Yeah,
his swag's probably through the roof.
Through the roof.
Really, you're conversing with those people in those high pressure situations. Yeah. So is he? I mean, that's probably instilled in you so much. His vibe of he's probably a pretty level headed fucking guy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm with him every day. I mean,
yeah,
way
I can
more
see.
than
I could see. That's your best friend.
Yeah.
Same. I'm the same. I mean, my pops is on the other side of the fucking country. But it's crazy as you get older, bro. You're like, holy shit, I'm just a little version of my dad. You know what I mean? Like
start to see little,
just start like obviously I'm way different. He never left Rhode Island barely. You know, like small town guy, but a rock star. You know, guy.
So he's still out there.
But yeah, they're still there. Like I'm just not rich enough to get them out here. You know, and like be able to. That's what I'm fucking working my ass off. That's probably my main goal. I've never had a lump sum of money. Like I've made, a bunch of money but the lump sum to be able to liquid cash, like it's an interesting thing. We should get into a little bit.
Grow
but like,
your portfolio.
What are you? So you're probably taking it very, very. What I'm going to get into is like your parents, those types of values they instill in you. so important when you land on fucking $7 million as a kid. You're a kid.
Yeah.
20 years old now. When I was 20, I would have been in the same spot. I probably would have been a second rounder, in that ballpark, maybe snuck into like the late first round, but even $1 million, like I come from, blue collar. We're just, like probably as middle class as you can get, but comfortable. My parents gave me everything. Like in your perspective, you don't even fucking know. I grew up on this little street. The house was like, half the size, not even half the size of this, with 4 people. And like, I never knew anything. I had everything I ever wanted, so it's really interesting when you grow up.
Appreciative when you grow up.
I mean, I'm so appreciative of my family, bro. It's insane. And that's kind of what I was talking about. I could tell for you to get to where you get, it's not an accident. And that's kind of the point of this podcast is like everyone I have here, like if you break down the psyche behind it and the stories and you can digest the story, it's clear, you know what I mean? Like it really is. It shines through everybody's story in its own unique way. But like I have so much respect for people who didn't have great guidance. Because think about it, bro. If your dad's a racist, you're a fucking racist until you get out and realize that.
Well, that's how. Nobody's born like that. You know what I mean? It's environment. It's who you grow up.
It's all environmental programming, bro. It's all programming. So for the people who persevered through not having great guidance and going on and be great people, that shit's probably the most inspiring people. I mean, you talk to people, like most of the people who have success, they had good fucking parents. It's not a coincidence by any means.
Yeah, somebody in their life.
Somebody came in, like even for Mike Tyson, like I forget the guy's name.
Cuss.
Yes.
I read his book, man. His book is unreal.
Amazing.
Yeah, Cuss.
Are you a reader?
Yeah, you know what? Not really, but I really like him. It's weird, man. I was a little obsessed with him for a little bit.
Who, Mike Tyson? Or
yeah, man, because I wanted that beast mentality. I was talking to my dad the other day. I will never have the amount of beast mentality that he had because of where he came from. Upper middle class family for me. You know what I mean? For him, he came from the slums.
You can't fake that.
From Brownsville, like
he
from
channeled all that anger, and all that anxiety, from his fear of living in that state.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. Even the hard circumstances of life that God or whoever you want to call, the universe or whatever, the circumstances of life, good or bad, are serving you. See, that's a perfect example of him channeling something terrible.
Yeah.
Went on to be a billion, make multi millions. Yep. Piss it all away. You think, oh, he's another didn't work out for Mike Tyson. No. Yep. Figures it out again.
Yep.
Starts crushing content, doing that. Yep. It's a fucking amazing story. He's the man.
The hot boxing.
Yeah, podcast. And they just so we call this house the Stevenson Ranch.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson is about to open a ranch in I think they're calling it the Tyson Ranch.
In Texas?
No, it's out here, Palm Springs.
Oh, it's gonna be in Palm Springs.
It's gonna be incredible. Supposedly like high end cannabis, and like a resort setup, but I guess it's fucking fun. Wow, it's gonna be fun. Crazy. I'm definitely going out there. But hilarious, bro. Like Stevenson Ranch has become like a huge running joke in LA. Everyone comes here like, yo, is the ranch open tonight?
Yeah,
like,
that's dope.
You know what I mean?
You guys got the shirts.
We've never met. Yeah, we gotta give you some. Yeah. We've never met anyone from Stevenson Ranch, and it's kind of like a slight legend. Like we gotta go to Stevenson Ranch and see what it's like. But I heard it's been like somebody. So I'm getting fan DMs like, yo, dude, I didn't know you live in Stevenson Ranch because we're tagging. Yeah,
that's what I did. I was like, I didn't know you're out here.
You hit me,
down the street from me, like
exactly.
Like, nah, man. This is
yeah, it's just a running joke, but it's hilarious that you grew up there.
From there, yeah.
Born?
So born here.
Here.
I moved from North Hollywood. I was born in Panorama City Hospital, out in like Van Nuys area.
Yeah. Right here.
And then moved when I was 2 or 3 to Stevenson Ranch. Yeah. But my heart is here, man. I went to high school out here.
You're good.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I just remember a lot of memories.
When did you move to Stevenson Ranch?
When I was like 3.
And you were there until
I
love that.
I mean, my family still lives out there. Like I said,
there's Stevenson. Oh, that's where we're coming to your house. We got to go experience Stevenson
It's
Ranch.
great, man. It's a great family place. You know what I mean? Like Santa Clarita.
It's they've made it like a suburbia, right?
Yeah. So their thing is like you were saying the other day, like being or you were saying earlier, being on Sunset. A lot going on. Mm-hmm. So their thing is like, okay, the schools are great out there. We moved, I have a brother and sister. So we went out there, went to school, elementary school, middle school, and then I came back out here for high school. My sister actually just started. She's a freshman at Notre Dame.
At high school?
Yeah. But it's like it's a great family place. Schools are great. And if we want to go out, if you want to come to, the LA life, the lifestyle and the hustle and bustle.
You can go dip your toes in.
Yeah, 30 minutes away, what I mean? So that's their thing,
30 minutes, no fucking traffic.
Yeah, for real.
Don't
No
yourself.
traffic, yeah.
See, that's your perspective. You're used to it. You lived here, so like the traffic is the traffic. But you come out here from another place, you're like, what the fuck?
This is crazy.
is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you heard about Elon Musk building a tunnel?
Yeah.
I guess they're like,
is that going to be like San Francisco, right?
They're digging that, like it's seriously going on.
From here to San Francisco, or?
I think the long-term goal is to like straight through to New York, bro. Like you can get there in like 3 hours.
That's crazy.
Fucking fire.
It's like a bullet train or something.
It's like you get right in, I think like single car type shit. I don't even know how it works exactly, but I'm fascinated with Elon Musk.
That's nuts.
Fascinated. So we didn't really ever get to your story. Let's move it along a little bit. So you grew up here, always a rock star athlete, right? It just was what it was.
Yep.
You were always bigger than everyone else, right? Mm-hmm. When did you start realizing like, holy fuck, I'm gonna be
with like college, like getting committed, or pro?
No. I mean, when did you start realizing in your head like, holy fuck, I'm really like one of the most talented people on the planet right now, and for my age, playing this game,
Probably my sophomore year. So I started playing for the USA team when I was a freshman. That was my first year,
and that doesn't happen. Really, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, it kind of does.
More.
Yeah, it happens a lot more.
Okay.
But it was like my sophomore year. I started throwing like 92 to 94 my sophomore year. I had some friends that were a little older that started to get into like the draft process. You know what I mean? It was their junior, senior year.
And you were seeing what was going on.
Seeing what's going on. I really didn't know how it worked, man. Like I didn't know how you got to the MLB. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't in your family how much of your athleticism and what was happening was the whole family like kind of funneled around it? Was it at the focal point of your family? It doesn't sound like it really, because your mom's an educator and your dad's obviously.
Oh no, they were behind me like 100%.
Of course. But you think, at least where I'm from, if the LeBron James of high school baseball was happening, like the families are so completely immersed in it. It's like I'm bringing it up because it's an interesting thing. It becomes what you are and who you identify, and that's how you're treated around town. And it's an interesting thing to have happen to somebody like you, where you obviously have a balanced family as far as what they're doing and how they're thinking. She's obviously thinking education, and but if it were to happen at in my neighborhood, it'd be all the family was doing. Yeah, just funnel.
They're doing their own thing, but like. I mean, my dad has never missed a game. It's obviously harder now that I'm in pro ball. You know what I mean? He can't be like
I was the
at
same
every game.
But
he never missed a game. Even my mom, her job is a little different. My dad can make a lot of money in like 30 minutes an hour. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. His availability is a lot better than my mom's.
That's an awesome convenience.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For you. And for him, obviously.
Yeah. To have him there, and that's my guy. But.
It's amazing.
Crazy.
You just went on a little mancation with the
mancation. Guy. Yeah, we went out of Long Beach, went out of the port, went to Ensenada, Mexico. It was like a 3-day cruise. That was
I saw it. Looked fly.
Yeah, it was fun.
You guys are doing it up.
Yeah, we got the little suite. He hooked it up. He's like really good about like hooking up like the details, man.
Like it's interesting. He's probably fucking really connected. He could probably do a lot of fucking things around the city because like he got the sauce with all the big dogs. You know what I mean? Insane. So you just getting that? Were you getting that trickle down sauce around town because your dad? Like, I mean, it probably takes you guys to fire spots just through connections.
Oh yeah,
guess, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, he's that's like one of the main things about life is like the connections. You know what I mean? It's all about connections. All about it. So he taught me that at a young age. Meeting people. I mean, like, I was just talking the other day, I got to get better at this. This is what I want to work on, is like the people that I meet exchange numbers. I'm pretty good about that, or exchanging social media,
following
whatever. But like, even like holidays or like Christmas, like send them a card, send them like a gift basket, send them something, just like little things to keep myself in their head. You know what I mean?
Mindset, sir.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, because we forget about people. You know what I mean? Totally. Like we're busy, and
I mean, I talk about this a lot, but we're living in a time where it's increasingly harder to remain human, in a sense where we're not really meant to digest so much information 24/7. Think about it. You're constantly. Do you just sit? Do you ever just sit and not
just
do
no phone, like
not
nothing?
do anything?
Yeah, man. But like, I can't. The amount of times I do that, I can't even count. Like, it's and
I
need to a lot more. But.
Yeah, I'm gonna bully you into this meditation game, really, because you're just gonna need it for for flow and peace of mind and understand. There's really a huge spirituality thing that I caught recently. But meditation, man, it's like, think about it. It's you know, we've talked about this, but I'll keep it brief. But a computer, our brain is a computer. You know what I mean? And if you were to compare, there's a lot of similarities, right? If you have 40,000 tabs open on the fucking computer, it's slowing down. It's not as good. There's lack of clarity. There's confusion. You know, other things aren't firing the way they're supposed to be firing. It's not, you know, it's the same fucking thing. You know, so that 20 minutes you spend with yourself, it's kind of crazy to think about how humans were originally. All they were was with themselves.
Yeah. Like you can't take 20 minutes out of your day to just
sit with yourself and say, hey, I'm gonna focus on my breathing. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna think about positive thoughts. You know, it will really help because baseball is such a mental grind. Mm-hmm. Like, dog, that year I had, so like I'll keep it brief, but like it was, as I look back in hindsight, I'm like, holy shit, I was like sent off. It was like a send off for me. My freshman year at Duke could not have gone any better. I'm still like the record holder, lowest ERA, still like. But I remember having these thoughts, and I'm like, I just threw 2-0 to Buster Posey, like 89 with a little sink, and he rolled over it. And I'm like, why do they keep hitting? Like, I really actually had that thought, like everything's going my way. Mm-hmm. It felt like that. Yeah. But once your mind feels that way, it happens. Mm-hmm. My point is, like, in my head, for the first time, and I dominated, you know, obviously all high school. But for the first time, I remember like holy fuck, you know what I mean? Like I'm just getting everybody the fuck out, and I'm not even sure why. It wasn't like I was over executing and doing incredible you know, like pinpoint. I was just fucking challenging guys. I had a great slider. Guys, didn't throw terribly hard, through low 90s. It just had like a power slider, you know, and I threw the shit out of it. I got everyone out with it. Mm-hmm. But it felt like a send off. Everything went perfect. That was the last time I pitched healthy ever again. Yeah. Everything went perfect. And it was like, it just feels like, all right, you know, here's your last hurrah, like run it up. Because it really did help me get off the ground in music. Yeah. If I wasn't a record holder or, you know, an all-American pitcher, I think people would have cared a lot less about some white kid making, you know, freestyles in his dorm. Yeah.
You got a story.
Right. And what I'm saying, like, back to my point of like everything serving you in the journey of life. I have it tattooed, the date I got the surgery. Because I thought it was the worst day of my life when I was there. Yeah. And it was the best day of my life. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't change how anything happened.
That's crazy how, that's
and like, I was here with James Conner. He fucking blew out his knee and lost, you know, millions of dollars in his draft process, right? The only way that he found out, he saved his knee, you know, tearing, saved his life. Because he goes to the doctor, he ends up finding out he has stage 4 cancer. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't have known. Because he was so strong and tough and athletic, like, he had felt a little weird, but like he wasn't. So he had like lymphoma. I don't even know that. I think it was lymphoma. Yeah, but that's like, to me, this is how you have to approach anything in life. You know, like, if you can trick your mind, or not even trick, train your mind to get into that way of that ideology. You know, of seeing it like that, like this shit sucks right now, but I know it's gonna serve me. Right. You know, and I'm gonna have
talk about that all the time.
I'm gonna have faith in it. I'm gonna have faith in that. It makes the hard times easier. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it makes it easier to get to the good times. Because you think about it, you're carrying around a negative ass vibe. Right. You're like, oh fuck, pity me. Like, why'd my knee have to, work my whole life for this? It's really, like, I didn't get negative about my arm. Mm-hmm. You know, I would see it in my mom and dad's face how like unfortunate it was. They were like sad, because it was my whole life.
It's your whole life, yeah.
And I could see it, but I wouldn't let it like affect me. Yeah. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, I had the positivity instilled in me enough to where I wasn't thinking like this. You know, I wasn't consciously like thinking like this. Mm-hmm. I think the positive vibe that I stayed on, I was always optimistic about it, and I never came back. But the whole time I thought I was going to. Yeah. And I actually did. I just came back in a different avenue. But the hardship served me in a better purpose for life. Sure. You get what I mean? Yeah. Same thing with a breakup. A recent one that was just tough. First one I really went through. Mm-hmm. What not even hard. Like very kind of cordial in many ways. But like just the emotions.
Emotionally attached. Yeah.
The emotions of like, oh shit. And then that hardship. So thankful for. Yeah. Because it brought me down this avenue where I've found a lot of clarity.
Learn from everything.
So much clarity. Yeah. But yeah, that's how. So it's in another alignment we have. You're right now rehabbing Tommy John. You know, for my fans, my first mixtape was called Toast to Tommy, and it was, you know, thanking him for thanking him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want you to I wanted to have this conversation with you the most, just because you're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But just you don't even need it. Your mindset's so great, you know. But it's just like, dude, go into this as an opportunity. Marcus Stroman just, you know, he tore his knee. It was devastating for him. He went back and got his degree. Felt like he accomplished something. He feels like a better human being because of it. And feeling like a human being, as you go on, you know, you're going to have amazing success, but you're going to also have to find out who you are during that time. And it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy doing what you do.
Yeah.
You're not getting a lot of idle time to try to discover really who you are, what the meaning of being alive is, all that shit. You know what I mean? That's why athletes, I feel like, probably are the most challenged in this, because you're not living a real life.
On the go,
you're in a bubble, bro.
Yeah.
I'm on the bubble when I'm on a tour bus. I'm waking up. I don't know where the fuck I am half the time. I get up, shower, go. I meet 100 people that can't wait to meet me, right? Interesting dynamic in general.
All different types of people, yeah.
It's an interesting thing to absorb as a human, though, and digest, and not let, you know what I mean, not let change who you are. You're grounding, you know? And then go play a show, people scream and cheer, girls come on like it's a fucking blessing to get on the tour bus after. Like, it's all shit that changes. It's not normal life, you know what I mean? And then we get up, we do it again. I wake up, we're in another city, do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's through this experience, that's what happened. I had to break up, and I had idle time where I'm just here working on this album.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck, who am I? You know what I mean? Let's figure this shit out, because really I just been rocking and rolling. I haven't looked back, you know? And it's really cool if you can at this age get into
get that time.
Make sure you're working on your balance as a human. It's gonna go a long way in your career, and you already have it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very obvious. It's fucking tripping me out. I have to say it. Have you been told you look like Ken Griffey at all?
Yes, Ken Griffey.
You're a mix of Ken Griffey and Tiger Woods.
I've gotten Tiger Woods, Ken Griffey. I got Chris Rock, which pissed me off.
He's looking back at me. I feel like I'm talking to Ken Griffey over here. I'm like, fucking Christ.
Yeah, young Ken Griffey. Yeah,
insane.
Yeah, he's awesome, by the way.
We love that. You've met him.
Yeah, I met him.
The fucking GOAT.
Yeah, he's
the
amazing.
swag had all the sauce.
Man, I was just talking to one of my boys from Chicago. He does. I don't know if you guys have heard of like Modern Notoriety.
No.
It's like you know what I'm talking about. So he's the owner of that, Oscar Castillo.
What is it?
Say it again.
What is it?
So it's like this big social media following that he has, and it's like for the culture of Chicago. So they have these like little pop-ups in these warehouses. Obviously, it's like a brand, so they got shirts and everything. Right. But they got like all these warehouses they rent out and stuff throughout the year, and they throw these like huge pop-up parties with like merch. They blast music, have performances. Dope. It's just like fun times for the city. You know what I mean? Dope. And even Oscar, he's built like 20 basketball courts or something like that around Chicago.
That's amazing.
Like just crazy stuff. So
the huge breakthrough for me and like how I handle life is understanding the kickback of gratitude from life. If you serve other people and you do amazing things like that, you know how good that shit is for your life energy.
Yeah,
things are gonna flow to you in a better way.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean? It just is. It's how life works. Once I realized that, I started treating people. I was always in that. I had great parents, you know, but I would have an ego. You know, moments of ego. I still do. Obviously, we all do. But the nonsense of like thinking you're
better than.
Well, not even. I never thought I was better than. But then if someone challenged me in any way,
sure.
I'd have to tell them why they were wrong, and like, you know what I mean? That's just unnecessary energy to put out when it's not necessary. You know. But I think as you go forward, I mean, you're in AA now, right?
I was gonna be in high and AA this year. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to be, I mean, who knows how it's going to go. Yeah. But the times on the road when you're alone, I think focus, like reading the proper things. Just, I just did an interview with the New York Post because Marcus in one of his things is like, he attributes a lot of his success this year to a book I recommended. It was The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. These guys laugh at me because I say it in every podcast. I can't have a conversation without it. But I would want you to read it.
It's spiritual or is it habits? Because I've seen the 7 habits.
The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. Yeah, okay, it's really just life. It's life, but if you can, like, it's blanket ID. Like, it's blanket ideologies across life. So you can apply it to your sport, apply it to your fucking day.
Everything. Yeah.
You can apply it to every single thought. Really, it's really cool. But Marcus attributes a lot of his success to that. He reads it right before he goes out. Just to like, it gives you a better perspective on how small this game is.
Yeah, it's a game.
You're on a fucking grass field with a bat and ball running around with guys in tight pants, playing basketball. Playing. It's
a great way to look at it. Yeah.
Playing a game. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the guys who can remember that, because it's life.
Yeah,
and those are the best ones. And you have fans that literally think it's life or death if you guys win.
Oh my God.
Like sports fans, you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this. Sports fans got to figure it out a little bit. Because seriously, like you should be passionate, and I get it. Championing the city, you know what I mean? But these guys are fucking human beings.
Right.
Human beings. Just like you and I have fucking every emotion in the book. We all encounter them.
Yeah.
And the fact that regular people who probably have a lot of shitty emotions dealing with grinding, there's a lot of grind versus, I mean, you're grinding obviously on an athletic level, you're grinding your ass off, your mind and body. Everyone's grinding, but for those people to not realize it, like I have trouble understanding I have trouble understanding their mind frame to fucking stand up and boo.
That's why I got to get off
social
media sometimes, man.
Don't let anybody use your social media, but don't let any of those fuckers.
Yeah.
Because I have this conversation with Marcus, bro. These if you get what Twitter did was give everyone in the crowd a fucking megaphone.
Yeah, name. Yeah.
You get what I mean? They can go home to they're right on their. Yeah, this kid Hunter Greene ain't panning out. Just fuck that. You know what I mean? Like they have no idea who you are, what your life is. They're gonna hate me for this too, but yeah, no, that's how don't let. Any you know who you are, you know how gifted you are. You're really gifted. I want to get into this a little bit. Are you a spiritual dude at all? I mean, I wasn't at your age at all.
I mean, I'm into yoga and meditation. I've been doing yoga since I was
meditated.
Yeah, I've been doing that stuff since I was 13. It's been a while, so you mentioning it
get
is
back
just
in.
Yeah,
nothing's a coincidence. We're having this conversation for a reason. But yeah, I think. But
I've been into that since I was 13. I always did yoga, obviously for physical stuff.
Yeah.
But shavasana, at the end, so shavasana is after your yoga. So say it's an hour and a half. Shavasana is a 15 to 20 minute period of time where you lay out on the ground,
that's exactly
arms
what
up,
it is.
legs out. And they put some nice soft music on.
Yoga is incredibly spiritual. I literally have never stepped foot in a yoga class.
I can't do hot yoga. Hot yoga is
and
nuts.
I'm jealous that you do. I'm jealous. I'm literally jealous of people I see going into yoga because I'm not flexible and I'm terrified to go in there because I know it's going to hurt and suck.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it.
It is painful.
I'm on record.
Pilates is fun, man. Pilates is a little bit more
Kilmer, one of our guys in our house, he has a girlfriend, which explains why he's in a Pilates class. But
he's in a class?
He actually says it's hard.
It is.
He's this is a fucking challenge.
Because you got to hold poses for a really long time.
Yeah. I gotta sprinkle. I gotta get my feet. I gotta get my feet wet.
And there's a bunch of them out here in the valley and everywhere.
I know, it's Yoga Central out here.
You know what you got to do is the sleep deprivation tanks. Have you heard of those?
Just did it.
You did it. How'd you like it? The float tank.
Just did it. When I do that Versace 3 days ago.
What do you think?
I did it Wednesday. Definitely doing it again.
Okay. But
time went by slow, and I didn't enjoy that.
You claustrophobic at all?
Not at all.
No. How long were you in?
What I'm saying is it was my first time.
Yeah.
Ever experiencing it, so I think as I got that under my I've done that now.
You're okay.
I'm gonna go now. I know what it is, and because I just didn't. I get to a really meditative state when I meditate here.
Okay.
I really do.
Yeah.
I feel it.
You turn all the lights off.
I didn't necessarily feel like I got there. I was kind of always oh, I'm in a fucking tank. I wasn't tripping at all. I enjoyed it. I felt good. I felt relaxed after I got out too. But I don't think I nailed it. I'm gonna go again. That's the first thing I said. I was I'll definitely go again.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with You Never Know, You Know What I Mean, right after this urination break.
All right, here we go. You want me to put the other thing out? So I'm just gonna go on record and say this. We Foley's hung over his balls. Kilmer's in Mexico, and we botched a little bit of. We had a technical difficulty. I think we lost about maybe 8 or 9 minutes of conversation, which isn't a huge deal. I just made life-changing points, and they're gone. They're gone now forever.
Somewhere.
So Foley, that's on you.
We lost from ayahuasca.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right after ayahuasca.
Let's keep that off the record anyway. That was good. It's fine.
No, like you talked about it, and then that's.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think maybe for that break, we'll put a little like crazy Peru ayahuasca video clip. Just show them what ayahuasca is, maybe for the break. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
but anyways,
alpacas and shit out there.
Yeah.
All those.
Oh yeah.
Those llamas.
I saw a fucking video. I want to say it's an alpaca. I saw are they the ones that run really funny?
And they spit.
They spit?
They spit.
Yeah.
Who are the
Oh,
ones
is it
that
different?
Who are the ones that like gallop and
alpacas
they're like
don't
cute?
spit?
They kind of take them as pets sometimes. Rare, but some people have them as pets. You got to find this. Foley, I need you to figure this out.
I'm just gonna tell him about this.
Maybe ask Kilmer. It's fine. Ask Kilmer. Answer it. Ask Kilmer what the animal is. He knows.
Hey Kilmer, what's the animal that runs around funny?
And the bat, like they're like. Yo, they're like alpacas. I think. Like, remember you were showing me a video of them, and they came up in conversation. But like, people have them as pets. It's rare, but it's not a normal pet. But some people have them as pets, and they're like the fucking cute. That wasn't with you. You have no idea what I'm talking about. He's like passed out in Mexico asleep.
I texted him, call me urgent.
Yeah, this wasn't the urgent.
This wasn't the urgent. He's like, what the?
He said this was urgent. Oh my god. No, we had an audio problem, but we're gonna persevere through it. You win some, you lose some.
Is it all good though?
Yeah, it isn't, but it's fine. Hey, it is what it isn't. You know what I mean? I love you, Steve. I'll see you. Safe travels. Figure out I don't know what fucking it.
Where's
It's
he at Mexico?
adorable. I'm gonna find. He's in Mexico City at a wedding.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Is that inland? That's gotta be inland, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. I've only like talked to people about it, and the dudes I was talking to are like rich as hell. So they went and did it on the biggest level.
But yeah, they're doing it. Yeah.
But they said it's fucking bonkers. Like anything goes. Wild shit. Dangerous to go out if you have bread and people know. You gotta go heavily secured.
So with my dad and I, we took our watches off. We took everything off when we got off. We're like, chill.
Those people, that's Ken Griffey right there. He looks great.
Shit,
That guy doesn't age. That guy hasn't aged in fucking years. Yeah. Sheesh. So what the fuck are you doing with your money? In the most non-personal way. I mean, like when you get this kind of bread, we started to talk about this, and I wanted to get into this a little bit because it's an interesting dynamic, right? You're 20 years old. Mm-hmm. You have a shit ton of money that comes all at once, right? Mm-hmm. You're also the dichotomy of you're also living a grind lifestyle at the time. So your soul is like kind of conflicted because you have all this.
Right.
You have all this availability for luxury. Mm-hmm. You're stuck in a situation that's the opposite of luxurious. When I say stuck, you're on your journey.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a journey every person must take to get to where you're gonna go.
Yes.
You know,
no shortcuts.
There's no short. You actually have to do this. But it's an interesting thing. You know what I mean? It's not many people probably even thought about this, but I've thought about it because I was at one point very close to that. Mm-hmm. For me, you know, like I said, I would have been. We talked out there, I think, but you know, if it all had gone well and I stayed the same, you know, more or less, I would have been a second round or maybe late first round guy. Mm-hmm. Did I say this on the podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still trying to get my feet back on the ground from last night. That's either here nor there, though. But the point is, like, not many people experience what you're experiencing currently. Because you get to this point in life that people dream about, like waking up and seeing that money and it's at your disposal and you're a fucking kid. Mm-hmm. You know, walk us through it. Like, what's your mindset on it? Do you even think about it in the sense of like, have you even thought about it like the way I'm articulating it right now, or are you just kind of like, this is what you know? This is your reality, obviously. But I just love to know how you're digesting it and what it's, because I've never felt that, you know?
No, I had to mature real quick. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you don't mature, you end up like a lot of these athletes. Baseball, everybody's pretty good, conservative. You know, you don't hear about a lot of bad baseball
for whatever
players.
reason, breeds a more conservative athlete.
Yes.
like these, you know what I mean? Like it's something about the game, the structure of the game too. There's a lot of like patience and diligence and shit. Yeah.
But with
there isn't all sports, you could say, but maybe most. I don't know.
Yeah.
You could probably argue that, but
well, with a lot of these NFL and these NBA players, we see it in the news all the time with them either going broke or they sexual assault, or I know a lot of it is a lot of mental illness stuff. But with their money, they're blowing their money. And like you said earlier, we were talking about how these guys come from nothing, and boom, you get all this money. You have no guidance, no financial advisors.
Terrible guidance, terrible influences.
People take advantage of family. Hey,
exactly.
I want to.
No one makes it out of it from their neighborhood, so you feel you're.
Yeah, you don't have any mentors, none of that. So with me, it's like, I mean, I have all that. I have all the mentors. I have the right family. I have the right support group.
Such a privilege. It really is.
So, I mean, my money's invested pretty well. I have a really good portfolio.
Great.
I was talking to you earlier about, I like nice things. So, yeah, I do find myself spending a lot sometimes. But it's like every once in a while. It's not consistently.
It's that intuition,
Yeah.
You feel a little shame if you spent a little too much.
I'm like, oh, man.
I do that, but then I really changed my outlook on it a bit. It's changed the way I look at spending.
But it's like,
I spend not to cut you off. I feel I want to slow down here a little bit. There's something about kind of what I touched on earlier about like giving and what we were just talking about when we took a break about what I like to spend on. I want money. I'm yearning for more, and I'm patient, but I'm always been focused on acquiring and more and more, and it's not because it's not because of a lack of there's a lack now. It doesn't make me unhappy, but it's kind of like what drives you forward. You know what I mean? But spending the money, it's like I spend it on experiences, and I look at it like I'm not, thankfully I'm not super into I'm not a jewelry guy, a lot of that can take up a lot. I can gobble up a lot fast.
Yeah.
Not a huge car guy. I'm just not, I don't even barely drive. Versace drives. He's the fucking Versace. I'm not going to say he's a great driver. But he always
Escalade out there, the Escalade.
But he always gets it done.
Get you there, yeah.
He's the most incredible guy ever. But he's a little heavy. He's a little heavy-footed sometimes. Big guy.
He's speeding.
Big guy, and combined with his lack thereof of proper vision, doesn't. Yeah, he's not a great driver, but he gets us there, and I'm just gonna let him. I'm in flow with him. I'm letting him go.
Yeah,
he doesn't really make mistakes. That guy. What the fuck was my point? What was I saying about?
You don't buy nice things.
Oh yeah. So
don't drive.
Yeah, I looked at spending when we talked about giving and the karma of giving, your friends with the basketball courts. I look at the morale of my guys, of your team and your support system. If that morale is constantly being built and being, treated appropriately, groomed is a good word.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is experience. We all go to I bring them all when we go on trips because it's just not the same.
Sure.
And how can they relate truly if they're not there? You know what I mean? There's a lack of connection. The bond can only get closer if you're manicuring the relationships properly. So I looked at spending 100%. A lot differently because I felt like the return of investment was a really good one for the overall life, energy, and just
investing in yourself. That's
exactly. It is. Even if people are like, oh, your entourage, people might think I'm overspending if they come to the house or, but I'm not because I value the vibe so much that's where I'm going to invest. It's reinvesting.
Yeah.
And I really, once that clicked for me, it made spending, a lot less. I didn't really think twice. If I have an intuition, that's where this whole thing started.
Yeah.
You like nice things, that's great. I just don't. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't. But I spend in other ways, probably more than I should in a lot of ways. But it is what I look at it like there's no such thing.
There's not a lot of regrets.
Yeah,
none at all.
Exactly. Yeah. I get it. The shame, I didn't need to do that. Yeah. Whatever. But a lot of time I'm just on a fucking wave, and I'm like, yo, this is the vibe. This is how I'm going to feel the best I want to feel, and I think that translates. So how you're spending. What are you? I mean, definitely a jewelry, definitely into fashion, right?
Yeah, into fashion big time. I don't have any big, I have the Rolex. That's the nicest thing I have.
Yeah. See, that's fucking awesome because you got a lump sum of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys To
be honest with you, I didn't even pay for this. This is my graduation present. So I haven't even
fucking
spent
amazing.
anything on
So you're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best thing you think you got? Is any like anything you got like just or it could be an experience, something you did with like first thing you did like all right, I
bought my mom a very nice car.
Hard.
And I love like I replay the video a lot to just watch it myself. Like
that just serves my point I just made exactly.
Yeah. I cry I think every time I watch it too.
That's awesome.
Like,
yeah. That's the karma of that. And the fact that you go back and watch it and you feel that emotion.
Yeah.
Your karma is amazing. That's really what it is. It's reciprocal. Like it's a flow. You know what I mean? I love that. That's
I'm
amazing.
a big giver though. Like
That's
I
great.
have an Adidas deal and I give like
That's awesome.
I spent like nothing. I didn't buy anything. My whole family like took all the money for this year.
This is another telltale point. Like when you get money is when you don't like doesn't even matter. Once you get it, people want to give you everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not gonna pay for shit.
Yeah.
So just if you're smart, you're already doing it. You're gonna fucking be so rich, really, because it's just like if you do it smart,
lean on the connections.
and you're exactly. And you're privy. You know what you're doing. It's I mean, you're in a great position. Have you met Marcus?
No, I still haven't. So
I gotta link you guys up.
I was gonna bring that up. It was really dope. So he hit me. I did like a big Bleacher Report article my junior or senior year.
Yeah, I think.
And he said something amazing. He was like, "I can't wait for him to get here. We need more Hunter Greenes." Coming from him because I loved watching him, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy!" Like that was the talk of the whole like week at school. Like all the players were like, "Oh my god!" So I still haven't, but I mean,
I'll loop you guys on a text.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate
you got it.
Oh, we text like all the time.
Oh, you
it's
do?
just not all the time, but we text.
Yeah,
a lot.
Okay, cool.
But we just haven't.
Yeah.
I know he's come here a couple of times, but I've always been somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
our
tough.
schedules
It's
are
tough.
like, yeah,
It's tough. He's I talked to him last night. We were talking off screen about it, but he's happy. He's happy to be in New York, and
looks like it. Yeah.
And he's getting grounded still. Like he feels like he's a little erratic still, like just energy. But he's having flashes of brilliance.
Yeah, he'll settle.
And he's
down,
doing well. Like every time he's gone out, he's giving them a chance to win. I don't even know how tonight panned out, but he had 2 earned. And
that Mets team is like
six,
unreal now. And he's like,
it's an interesting thing. I texted him this because he wasn't necessarily. It wasn't any disappointment in the situation of the Mets. It was just like out of nowhere. He thought it was maybe the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They were never on the radar. And
Yeah.
this was also, they were like 15 games back.
yeah,
As soon as he goes to the Mets, they start popping off. They just start winning. I mean, who's to say if it has anything to do with the energy? It seems like the whole team just started clicking.
but that's big. Like one guy could totally change the mindset.
And if you ask, he's like the most liked guy in the clubhouse. People love him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited for him to be in a market like this though, where he should be treasured, man. Like, you know, like people get bothered by his like branding and the stuff he does and tweets.
That's the conservative.
It's very conservative.
Yeah,
Very
it's too conservative. That's why like baseball isn't as popular and you know it's not as well advertised and marketed as these other
Totally.
You know, these
Totally.
other, sports
That's
companies.
like we said about everything, education, whatever.
Yeah.
It needs reform. It needs evolution as things evolve, you know? I don't know why the fuck are we playing 160 games? Does anyone know why?
It's a lot of games.
Does anyone know why
Plus
you have
posts.
to play 160 fucking games?
16 in the NFL, like 80 in NBA.
It doesn't make but the money, but dude, it's not even realistic. You guys like imagine if you guys had another 3 months off.
Yeah.
Your bodies, your minds, your lives would be so much better.
Can't disagree.
They'd have a better product. They're getting fucking watered down versions of guys because they're so fucking tired. Like you're constantly traveling. You know how much like I'm just fucking drinking beers and singing songs. And I'm fucking
tired, yeah.
and I'm tired from traveling. I mean, granted, I'm fucking raging the whole night. You can come in and check. But my like it's an incredible tax on your body and your mind.
Oh yeah.
It's nuts.
I mean, these position players are playing like 100 and something games. Like
how many innings they're playing,
crazy.
dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
That's
get
why
it.
the recovery is
I'd love to
huge.
have that conversation with somebody. Not even me. I just love to have someone have that conversation. And like, the business of baseball isn't doing great. You know what I mean? Like, it's not doing great. So, I think this would be.
I don't know the analytics on it, but compared to to the NFL,
they're just not.
NBA,
The numbers attendance numbers are falling, ratings are falling.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I think at some point here soon they're gonna revisit some things.
Yeah.
Because I just think it needs to be, like you said, it needs to be more
Needs to
excitable.
be, every year they should be bettering the sport.
Yeah.
On and off the field.
Yeah. So what's next now? You're obviously right in the thick. You're out of the
cast.
the brace, and it's now how far are you from throwing?
I start throwing when I get back to Arizona. I got to drive back tomorrow morning because I'm not trying to be in that desert like when it's pitch black because there's no lights out there. So I'm trying to like get out of here early, get back there. I start throwing like a week.
Wow.
So that's gonna be crazy. Like 30 feet, like wow, man.
I remember these fucking days. It's buckle up. You know what I mean? It's just have fun with it. It's gonna be appreciate the challenge because you've really never, you probably haven't been challenged much. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Like
Yep,
when my elbow, when my and I wasn't even close to your level of like rank. You know what I mean? That being that highly touted. But dude, it's a crazy experience. Yeah. And it was right for me. It was the same thing. I had never had a hardship. Like I really didn't. Everything went my way, you know. And then that happened. I was like, it really starts to curve who you are as a man. You know what I mean?
I really feel like every player should have to go through this. And I know that sounds wrong. I really hope that. I mean, like my intentions are for anybody to like go through Tommy John.
I get what you
But you know what I mean? Like
totally.
To take this time off.
It's wild.
It's like everybody should like have this time to do that.
It's like you had made a comment I wanted to bring up. You talked about like, yeah, man, I was in Vegas. I was alone. You know, I was alone a lot. You know, I went out there alone, and I thought about that. Like we've gotten into a little bit with the meditation, but like, alone. I had a tweet. I tweeted it when I had this thought. I was like, alone time is slept on. We need alone time. Yeah, it really is. Like you have to come back to center. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is like, when you're playing and you're rocking and rolling on a baseball, like you're not getting any alone time, bro.
No,
you're just not. And then when you are, like, you're like, all right, is there a girl? Where's my wife?
Sure.
What's on TV? I want to be entertained. Like, you're still not there, you know, like, so, I mean, that's...
Sometimes I don't even get that time when I'm home for my off season. Sometimes I don't even get that.
Yeah, because the family, you haven't seen them. Everyone wants to do shit. You know, like, it really is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I urge everyone to kind of try to get more comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
I tell my guys constantly, like, I've been bullying them into it. Like, they haven't even jumped into it like they should have.
Yeah.
They've, like, been crawling into it.
Sure.
But, yeah, they're, like,
Slowly,
I really
surely,
is. It's super valuable. Like, I even now, like, I would, at this crib, I would, like, make sure I go in my room and, like, go have time. Like, I don't even get up. I'm up for an hour before I'm even out of my room. So I'm just taking that alone time and, like, setting up myself for a day, you know? But I never did it. And it was part of that whole awakening I had. I was like, dude, I don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
Everything's rah, rah, rah all the time, you know? Where we going? Who's here? Like, nothing, no, you know, no real, like, self-consciousness awareness. Yeah. It was crazy. It's crazy. It was a crazy realization. I feel like you're a lot further along. When I was 20, I mean, yeah, I just wasn't, I mean, I can't really even talk about it because I feel like I was a different person. I don't really remember exactly what my psyche was on shit. Yeah. It's crazy to think about. It was just like so much has changed. When we talked about this outside, we'll end on this. The experiences I don't think age matters at all. You know, like the family you've came up in, it's a very interesting family, right? And an interesting area and all the experiences you've had, you know what I mean? Yeah. So your maturity experience-wise is probably a lot higher than a lot of people. Yes. You know? But it's also like, how do you mature from here? And
keep going.
You can keep fucking going. Because you're gonna have a real chance of, like, not only just because of the financial freedom and the freedom of your lifestyle is going to be the challenge. Because you're going to be a baseball player. Right. You know? And unless they listen to Big Steve over here and start cutting down the fucking games. Like you're going to be challenged. Yeah. To continue to find the balance on the personal side. It's going to be a challenge. And then you're just going to, you know, like the lifestyle of getting more famous and shit, you'll have more and more and more and more and more and more distractions. Yes. So it's going to be a challenge. You're already ahead of it.
But I'm ready for it.
I know you are. Without a doubt. It's great. Yeah. It's fucking weird, dude. You even talk like Tiger Woods a little bit. Shit. Is anyone telling you this? No one told you this?
Not like the talking, but look like
just a little enunciation too. Yeah. It's crazy. People, we're gonna watch this podcast and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, like, I do, I do." But I really appreciate you coming and doing this.
Yeah,
you got to
man, I
come back. I
appreciate
want to
it.
follow
Yes,
you
of
on this
course.
journey. So
Yes.
like when you're back, you live over here. So come back again.
Love to.
Everyone, follow this dude. I have tons of baseball fans, so they might know of you, but follow him. You're Hunter Greene on
Instagram, the real Hunter Greene. There's an E at the end of Greene, and then Twitter is Hunter Greene 17.
Yeah, get behind him. He's a Steve.
Yes,
And
sir.
he's from fucking Stevenson Ranch. The universe, the stars.
Crazy.
It's written
Stars
in the
align.
This is written in the stars.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, bro. And I'm a fan. I can't wait to see. I know for a fact you're gonna come back and be better.
Thank you.
But I'm interested. I really want to see you do both. I think you could be the first one.
Yeah, but we're talking about these games, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, maybe
if I'm playing first base, and
maybe in
pitching,
your deal,
different.
you're like, yo, like
Let me play 30 games of short.
Yeah,
something like
and
that.
and like
Yeah.
I'll have these games off. Like I'll have an extra day on the. I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't
We'll
know.
see.
But you've obviously already kind of showed them that you're gonna kind of create the deals.
hit, yeah, yeah.
You're just gonna show them on the field, and then from there,
Right.
you might be able to make deals like that where you can like kind of dictate
that
a schedule,
leverage, yeah.
dictate a schedule in a sense.
Pave a way.
I'm interested. I'm really excited to see it grow and watch it unfold. My guy,
Thank you, man.
appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for doing this.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Size 15s too, guys. Got
Sheesh.
Sheesh,
Yeah.
show them off. We'll show them off. I mean, yours are a lot more expensive than mine. All right, we out.